preserving it for almost 1,000 years.
Look at this location. You climb all the way up here. I mean, no wonder they thought this was a sacred place. All inside the cave, isn't it?
All inside the cave.
Incredible.
Inside the gated enclosure that covers the mouth of the cave is the church, the king's palace, and a graveyard for thousands of pilgrims who died here.
So this building here is the church?
Yeah, this is the church.
The church was built up in alternating levels of wood and plaster mixed with stone chips, like a layer cake. But today there's no sign of the lake of mystical healing waters that lured pilgrims from hundreds, even thousands of miles away. Unless you know where to look.
Oh, there's a door here.
If you look at it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so that's the water underneath.
Yeah.
This is all wet underneath of here.
Yeah.
Some believe the original lake was actually swampy ground, and the church foundation a framework of timber or bamboo that evenly distributed the weight of the building above, a technique known as grillage. The groundwater trapped beneath could then be accessed through hatches like this one.
So the legend is true. This is really floating on a secret lake.
Yeah. So you can
holy water, if you will. Huh?
Of course.
Even if this muddy water has no special curative powers, the church itself receives thousands of visitors a year and is still in active use today.
So we had to shut down filming temporarily because there's an active service going on right behind this fence here. It's actually a baptism of a young baby born in the village. So we stepped away out of respect. This service is now just concluding inside the Yemrana Christos church here.
Once the service is over, we're free to explore the building and its medieval frescoes.
Salam.
And he's the one who's in charge.
Yes.
The church. Look at it.
Can I use this flashlight?
Please.
Oh, it's so elaborate. Beautiful.
Look at the ceiling, how nicely made it is.
Gorgeous.
Those nicely made carvings.
Yes.
Look at the fresco there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Biblical symbols and stories here on the ceiling.
Yes. If you look at...
God, this is incredible. Imagine if you were a pilgrim crossing by foot miles and miles. I mean, thousands of people would come here.
But the ultimate proof of the shrine's power is located behind the church, deep in the cave. Over the centuries, the old and sick have come here. Perhaps they hoped the waters beneath the church would save them. Or maybe they knew they would never leave this sacred spot. Here is the final resting place of King Yemrahana Christos.
The king who built this church is buried right here.
So this is where he's buried.
But he is not alone here.
The story goes that people would come and indeed some would be almost at a state of death and would actually stay here and die here in order to die in this legendary sacred space. Right underneath of my feet. Look over here, another one. There's just got to be countless bones.
Experts believe the bones of more than 10,000 people rest here in this holy cave.
Skull, 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 the teeth. Follow it up, and you're looking at a boneyard. I mean, what do you say? I'm speechless. There are countless bodies, all before me. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Many of the people here may have come from lands as far away as Egypt and elsewhere. They couldn't go to Jerusalem. I mean, like Lalibela, this place served as an alternative. Okay, this was a new Jerusalem, a place for your final resting place, a place to be closer to God.
Coming up, for the first time on American TV, a 2,500-foot climb.
This is by far the first, major face that we're going up here.
To a mountaintop cave.
Look at this sheer rock face right here. You fall off that, you are gone.
with a mysterious biblical text.
This is the oldest language in Ethiopia.
Geese.
When a Christian missionary fled from Constantinople to this remote corner of Ethiopia some 1,500 years ago, he had a vision from God, a dream of a mountaintop church carved from solid rock where he and his followers could practice his radical form of Christianity in utter solitude. According to legend, his vision would move entire mountains and create one of the most breathtaking and most treacherous places of worship on earth, up there in those steep, rocky cliffs. Over 340 miles from the modern capital of Addis Ababa are the cliffs of Tigray, and hidden inside of them are the mysterious holy objects of an ancient Christian sect, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. This underground location is actually high in the sky, a church carved into a sandstone cliff about 9,000 feet above sea level. To get to it, the crew and I had to climb 2,500 feet, hauling a few hundred pounds of camera gear. Luckily, our guide, Mulabrahan, who's made this journey more than 30 times, brought a group of local men to help us accomplish our mission.
So we're going up there. This is just the approach. And you can see when the whole thing goes straight up. It's going to be interesting.
The church we were hiking to is called Abuna Yamata, after the 6th century missionary who, like John the Baptist, came to the wilderness to commune with God and spread the faith. And we're the first American TV crew to make the climb.
This is by far the first major face that we're going up here. And look at these holes. These have all been worn into the rock by thousands of years of worshipers, priests and so forth, going straight up. Whoa, look at that. Down. Oh, heavy. Oh my God. Look at that. Got barbells in this. You know what's awesome is that we got to come back down this thing.
The remote church contains copies of lost books of the Bible, still used by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and buried on the path along the way are the church's faithful guardians.
Wow. What's that? Appropriately, right next to the path that anyone on a pilgrimage would have to pass by. These guardians. Ominous, huh? Wow, you start to get a sense of how isolated this really is. I mean, that's really the point, isn't it? That they really wanted to get away from it all. Ugh.
So this is part of the church.
This is a sacred place where we take off our shoes. Oh, okay. So from this moment on, we're in the church.
Yes, exactly.
I see. Top of the world here. Nice. Heaven.
Heaven.
The church believes that over 1,000 years ago, a holy man fleeing persecution in the eastern Roman capital of Constantinople followed this same path and found safety here.
This is Abuna
Yamata.
Yamata.
Abuna Yamata is a name of the monk from one of the 9 saints who established this church at the monastery in the 6th century AD.
Okay, so 500 AD this was done. And so they came this high up for the isolation, I suppose.
For isolation, to lead a spiritual life only,
okay.
To get rid of the secular life.
And the protection, obviously, from being so far up above everything.
Exactly.
All right, can we go in?
Yeah.
look at this sheer rock